You ever buy something and afterwards your stomach gets upset? You're like, oh my God, did I buy this car? I shouldn't have bought this. I don't know if I can afford $100, $800 payment. Should I have bought this house? Why did I buy this house? If you're going through that anxiety of wanting to buy a house or renting a house, I have one simple goal by the end of this video. I want you to be resolved by the time you're done watching this video to say, I'm glad I'm not buying, or I'm glad I'm gonna buy and I feel very good about it based on the 7 markers I'm gonna share with you in today's video.
Well, this had to be interesting. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And I'm excited to see what PBD has to say about his how he evaluates whether you should buy or rent. All right, let's check it out.
All right, if you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Before I share the 7 things with you,
can I just say before we get started in the video, oh God, I can't wait to be able to hire an editor. Oh man. All right. One could dream, right? One day.
I think it's important for us to see what the current conditions are in real estate. So this chart may scare you a little bit because this shows the cost of renting today is $1,845 per month. The cost to buy today is $800 more, give or take, $26.97 a month. You may watch this and say, Pat, why do I need to watch the rest? Just based on this, I should just rent. Stick around. Next one, what it costs to buy a house today. That's the number. That's the US median household income today. But this is where you need to be to qualify to afford a US median home today. So let me get this straight. This is what we're making, but this is what it qualifies to buy a house? Yes. How the hell did we get here? Look at this chart. This is good because the numbers match each other. When's the last time the difference was massive? Right here. What happened in 2008? Well, we know what happened in real estate, right? Everything dropped. There was a foreclosure. Everybody was doing loan modifications. It was nasty. But this is a scary place to be when you're looking at this chart. Now let's continue. Let's keep going with this. What else can we learn? This next one. In 2015, buying was 22% cheaper than renting just 10 years ago. But in 2024, guess what? Renting is cheaper. Buying has become 21% more expensive than renting today. 9 years ago, better to buy. 9 years later today, better to rent. Let's continue. Next.
I mean, yeah, so far so good. All that seems to be checking out. Yeah. I mean, you could also argue, just to provide a little bit of pushback, and again, this is Patrick Bear David. He's worth a lot more. His net worth a lot higher than mine. So take that for a grain of salt. With that grain of salt, what I'm about to say. He's not wrong, but some people would say it's always a good time to buy. Always. So, and what that means is you make money in real estate, like I always say, at the buy. I'll explain that a little bit more later, but let him finish.
Next one for you. In 1960, the median house cost about 2.5 times your income. In 2020, it costs 5.5 times. You know what that number is today? 8.5-ish, 8 to 8.5-ish. This is small home construction from 1975 till today. No one's building small homes. Used to be 40% of it. Now it's less than 10% at 7%. No builder's interested in building small homes. Now you may say, that's because they're so greedy. All they care about is making money. Everything you look at is more expensive. Those guys want to build. It's just more expensive. I'll show it to you here in a second. Look at this one here, okay? 1970, 10% of the homes we built were 2 bedrooms. And then if you look at the 4 bedrooms, used to be only 20%. What is it now? 48% of the homes we build are 4 bedrooms. Most people don't need 4 bedrooms. And 3-bedroom homes used to be 65%, has dropped to 43%. We're not building 3 bedrooms anymore. It's 4 bedrooms. Here's what's crazy. We're building more bedrooms while people are having fewer kids. It's not as if you need more bedrooms, you're not having more kids. It's the lowest birth rate we've ever had in the history of America. But let me continue with this. Couple other charts I want to show you. So all these greedy builders that we're looking at, this is what they're dealing with. Framing, interior finishes, the cost of major systems, foundation. You got exterior finishes, land development, all the stuff that you go through. And you know what you see on this one? Look at this. Here it shows us what is the price of concrete and cement. Look where it was in 2004. And look where it is now, 2025. They're wanting to build smaller homes, but they can't afford it. It's grown so much, they're sitting around saying, what do you want me to do? Now, the average person says, so should I buy real estate or invest into stock market? What should I be doing? If you go from 1971 till today, this is Wall Street Journal, the blue is U.S. median housing price. So somebody may say, why would I buy housing? If I would have put my money in S&P 500, you mean to tell me this is S&P 500 versus housing? That's according to Wall Street Journal. So people are asking important questions, which I'm kind of happy we're here asking these types of questions. Now, let's go back to it. You said, Pat, you're going to share with us the 7 things before I should buy or rent.
Let me just interject here real quick. Yes, this is not a stock versus real estate conversation. He kind of went there, so I just want to touch on it real quickly. It's a do both, okay? We don't have the luxury of picking either or. You know, do both. Be an expert, I'd say, in one, get help on the other one. So if what that means is if you are a stock person, and you know stocks like the back of your hand, and you're constantly learning if that's your bread and butter, okay, fine. But on the real estate side, get someone who that's their 1A, to where you could go and you could, kind of catch their tailwind or be under them or mentor them, or they help you in deals or you go partner. That's what I would recommend. Vice versa on the stock side as well. If real estate is your 1A, like me, I got to find a stock person or advisor or someone who could kind of take the lead on that. And I just kind of tell them what my vision is, and we work as a collaborative team, and you teach me as we go along. That's what I would recommend. But it's not an either or. But the other thing they don't talk about too is the tax benefits of real estate and owning real estate. Like, you make money in a lot of ways in real estate, but depreciation is one. And, you recognizing those losses and stuff like that. So that never gets talked about enough. So I just wanted to touch on that. So anyway, let me let him rock out. Hit the like button. Please subscribe.
I am. Everybody needs formulas when they're making decisions like this. Couple formulas for you to consider. Number one, when it comes down to buying or renting, take the median home price, then divide it by 12 times the median monthly rent. That gives you the formula to buy your rent. You're saying, Pat, I think I lost you. Stay with me. Say the house you're buying is $400,000, okay? And let's just say the median monthly rent today is $2,000. If I take 12 times $2,000, it's $24,000. $400,000 divided by $24,000, what do I get? 16.6. The formula is, if the number you get is under 15, time to buy. If it's between 16 to 20, it's up to you. If it's 21 plus, maybe it's time to rent. Very simple formula to follow. Number two, your credit score could be also a big factor whether you should buy or rent. What do I mean? Well, if you're trying to get a national median home price in June of 2025, which is 435, if your credit score is 717, your rate's going to be 7.42. Payments 3,018. But if your credit score is 800, you may get a 6.22 rate. Mortgage is now 2674. That's a $300 difference. So maybe for you, it's not a good time to buy. Maybe it's a good time for you to fix your credit. That's your focus. I had to go through that because my credit score literally in 2005 was 484, 495, 499. Till today, I've kept the credit score, especially with all the credit cards that I paid off over the years. I have the folder like this in my office till today. Number three, location, city, state, where you choose to live. Right now, the average house in America is 1,840 square feet. And the average national, what is the price? The 435 is a national median price is $435,000. So rent for 1,840 square foot home today. It's like a 3-bedroom house, let's just say. You're looking at, in LA, 4,600. In Miami, 3,300. In Dallas, 2,700. In Nashville, 2,580. In OKC, $2,025. This is why location, city, state matters based on what phase of your life you're at. Now you may say, well, Pat.
Very true. And just to go back on what he was saying about his whole math equation for the percentages, That's fine if you wanted to use that. I don't see a problem with that. I've never actually. It's the first I've heard of that. So, I just kind of was running my own little calculation, and I can see how that could guide you. But again, you make money on the buy. So if you're at a house and that house is, he used an example of 400. Well, so for consistency's sake, we'll stick with that. But if you're looking at a house that's $400,000, and you know you're doing this quick calculation, what he just did, the rent times 12 for the year annualized, right? And then you divide that by the cost of the home, and you, if it's over 21%, he's recommending, based on his formula, don't buy. If it's under 21%, maybe a good time to buy where it makes sense. And that all makes sense, but I would go a step further and say, find out where you need that house to be, number wise, and whatever you, if you have 400 and you need it to be 350 to make it make sense to pencil out, run it at 350. So it's a little bit of a tweak there, but I'm telling you, in real estate, it's the small little nuances that could either make or break a deal and make or break like financially. Um, I had I made a video about this, how I overpaid about 100, almost $50,000 for a house, or not house, sorry, for a duplex. But I didn't know this information when I purchased it. Now I do. So I'm sharing it with you. Don't offer more than, in this economy, right? Than 60% of the ARV. It's extremely hard to buy a bad deal using that small nuance tweak. That's it. Don't pay more than 60% of the ARV, and have your realtor help you with that if you need to know. Honestly, that needs to be your first question right out of the gate. What's the ARV? And then you can do his math and all that stuff. And then I guarantee you it'll work. The payments will make sense. Now, having said that, that's how you buy right? That's how you make the money in the beginning, not in the end. The numbers protect you, right? So when you use that formula, and I'm not going to get into all the nuances and all the things that I look at and all the matrix I look at and all that stuff, because that's not the purpose of this video. But when you use that formula, it's hard to go wrong, and you can't let someone talk you into a bad deal. So that's what I would say. It's a little more nuanced than just that. Don't get me wrong. That's a fast, quick way, which, my way is not that much different, and it's not even my way. It's like how you should buy real estate. It's an old, I guess by today's standards, it would be old fashioned, but kind of hard to go wrong when you do it that way. So don't forget the subscribe, like button. Let's let him continue.
What if I'm solving for the amount of money I can buy? I can only afford to buy a $435,000 property by these cities and states. What do I fall under? In LA, you can only buy with $435 a 1,000 square foot property. Miami's 1,500, Dallas is 2,000, Nashville is 2,000, but in OKC you get a 3,000 square foot house overnight. Maybe you can become a Shai Alexander fan, big OKC, what is it, Thunder, right? Didn't they win the NBA championship last year? Yeah. So maybe you ought to consider going to OKC based on where you are. You may say, Pat, there's no way I'm going to OKC. Fine, stick around. Number 4 is phase of your life. You're in. Let me explain. You're single. So you may want to be a little bit nimble. You're like, I don't know if I should buy or not. Should I not? Maybe you're married with kids and your expenses are high. Maybe you're an employee and you have a steady job. Maybe you're an employee, you just got started, it's not steady. Maybe you're an employee at a company that you may get promoted, and to get promoted requires you to move to a different state or a different country. Well, why would I buy if I can get that kind of a promotion? Maybe you're an entrepreneur. Maybe you're a business owner, entrepreneur, and depends, early, mid, late stage. I remember when we started my insurance company, I'm doing a meeting on September 24th of 2009. My wife's all the way in the back. I'm at 8550 Balboa Boulevard in Northridge, California. I get up and I say to everybody, I have $500,000 saved. I'm taking this $500,000 and I'm not buying a house. I was about to buy a $1.5 million house in Monterey Estates, Winnetka, California. Me and my wife love this house. I said, babe, I want to tell you, I'm not buying a house for at least 5 years. We didn't buy a house for 7 years. I took that money And I put that money, we didn't buy a house for 5.5 years, 6 years. I put that money into the business and I grew it. Then I moved, and I moved again 3 times. We have 4 kids born in 3 different states. So again, the idea of buying a house has to do with where you are with your career, life, marriage, personal life. All of that matters. So let me get to the next one. Okay.
That is a very, very valuable gem. I could, again, he's just preaching to the choir here, but I'm in the amen corner. I could attest to that. You know, me and my wife sold our first house because we wanted to invest in real estate, moved into an apartment, had our first kid, right? Um, moved to apartment, bought the duplex, moved to a duplex, renovated to duplex, then, you know, got them rented out. There's a lot in between there, right? It was a full-on rehab too, which is very expensive. And then, you know, I'm doubling up. I'm working at night and working at during the day, my day job. I should have been creating content back then, but you live, you learn. I'm a little late to the party, but hey, better late than never. But having a newborn, moving 4 or 5 times in a matter under 5 years was crazy. Had another kid, moved from Oregon all the way to Atlanta, and just, you know, you move for all the reasons where he just listed out. So that's all needs to be into consideration when you're looking at buying a house, because it is a big financial commitment. And if you don't plan on being there for a long time, it's better not to make that big investment. Let's continue. Please, if you're getting value out of this video and my commentary on it, I would appreciate a like. Thank you so much. And a subscribe.
A timeline. Timeline means what? If you're buying a house and your timeline is 3 years, do not buy. Keep renting. If you're buying a house and you're thinking, well, 3 to 7 years, maybe a little bit more open to it. If your timeline is, you know what, I just need a place to live and I know I'm going to be here for 7 years, you can make a confident decision knowing you're not moving, because there's nothing more annoying than you buy a place, knowing in 2 years you're moving, like, why did I buy this property? I got to move now, I got to rent it, I got to get a new place. Headache. So again, we're solving for what? The anxiety of buying a home, and after you buy something, you're like nervous whether you can afford it or not. I want you to make a decision buying based on a formula where you say, I am very resolved with the decision I'm making. 6, politics. Here we go again, we're talking about politics. It matters when you're buying a house. Let me explain why. If you're in a city like New York City, okay, regulation is high, crime is high. A new person's getting elected, like Mamdani, let's just say, he wins. You're like, what is gonna happen to the city when this guy gets elected? We know what happened during COVID. A lot of people from New York City moved to Tennessee and Florida. A lot of people from California moved to Nevada, Arizona, and Texas. Illinois was Tennessee, Florida. You have to sit there and consider the politics in the city and the state you're living in, because this is why a long time ago when people say, I don't like the fact that you're talking about politics. Business is politics, religion is politics, every family is politics.
True.
Everything you do has to do with paying attention to politics, because those regulations impact the safety of your kids and if it's a place you want to be there long term. So based on this, if you're optimistic about the politics of where you live and regulation, guess what? I feel more comfortable. If you're not, you may want to wait till November 5th to see who becomes a mayor in your city, and that's New York City. You may want to wait to see who becomes a governor of the state. You may want to wait before you do that, or you may have to move. If you're saying, I don't think the state's going to change at all, I have to think about making some moves. And last but not least, number 7, is cost of insurance. I've been in the insurance space since 2001, 2002. This matters. Risk by state. I live in Florida. We have a very bipolar weather here. 1 minute it's beautiful, next minute it's storming, lightning, then again the sun is back out. So anything could happen. Cost of insurance varies by state. So when you're buying a house, a lot of people in California right now, there's an article that came out that a lot of insurance companies are leaving. 7% of homes are not closing in California because the moment people say, I'm qualified, this is awesome, this is great. Wait, how much is homeowners insurance? Babe, I can't afford this. Because $3,000 plus this, plus that, babe, I'm sorry, we're out, we're not buying this house. 7% of homes don't close in California simply because the owners cannot afford to pay the homeowners insurance. So, most expensive homeowners insurance, Oklahoma, number 1. You may say, why Oklahoma? Tornadoes. Then you got Nebraska, Kansas, Texas, Kentucky. Least, which is kind of weird, Hawaii is low. Vermont, Bernie Sanders, low. Alaska, if you want to move to Alaska, it's great. About a couple months of the year, it's great. Delaware, okay, low. West Virginia, low. These are some of the things you have to be thinking about before you make a decision to buy a house. So if you're watching this and you say, man, I already own a house, but my kids are about to buy a house, share this video with them. Man, I'm thinking about buying a house, but maybe I need to watch this with my wife. Watch this again with her. Share it with people that are about to go through this, because there's nothing like making a decision that you don't look back and you're not nervous at all, because you put a lot of time thinking about it up front. And when you do so, you get to actually enjoy the home you're living in, or you get to actually enjoy the apartment or the house you chose to rent, because you have your formula down. You're good about it, right? You have a plan in place, especially now that 2026 is getting closer. So, if you got value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 2.
I agree with everything he said. I mean, all of those things play a role in real estate, and big financial decisions and where you want to live, where you would see yourself raising families and things of that nature. I mean, all of it makes sense. A lot of us call that a buy box in real estate. Like, basically, what's your criteria? All those things that encompasses all of that. Same for investing when in real estate. What's your buy box? I want to be in this area, this, part of the country has go this landlord friendly state. Those are all things that you consider when you are getting into real estate. At this point, everyone needs to be in the mindset of the investor, not just a consumer or a regular, market rate buyer. I mean, I don't think there's room for that type of buyer anymore. Just my opinion. So, yeah, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And like I've been saying at the end of a lot of the videos, if you've gotten that far, something I am considering doing is going live couple times and, just see what that goes. I'm waiting for a certain number of my subscriber count before I can justify doing that. Or who knows? I may just do it. Unpredictable. I'm just shooting here. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and then we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.